Hey, good morning, and welcome to another edition of Ralph's Opinion. I am Ralph Williams. We're here every morning at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Standard Time. So if you live in the West Coast, it'll be 8:30. If you live in Central, it'll be 2 hours, and or the part of the West 2 hours Mountain Time, I believe they call that. So you're on at 9:30, and then in the Central Time, it's 1 hour, so you're on at 10:30. So don't forget to tune in across the country and here in the Pittsburgh area here, Greater Pittsburgh. We're brought to you today by our studio sponsor, First Line Consulting Services Studios, 1-877-926-6982. Give them a call today. They will help you get a website going. They will manage it, and they will also upload all your videos, do whatever you need them to do. One low monthly price. Give them a call. Check out their package deals, and for more information, at 1-877-926-6982. All right, today we're going to get started with our first segment. Our first segment is brought to you by Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Give Mata Heating and Air Conditioning a call today for all your furnace needs and UV lighting, air cleaner, snow melt, heat pumps, air conditioning, which of course is not appropriate until the summertime, furnaces, radiant floors, humidifiers, and service contracts. Okay, so Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, 724-201-0500. Ask for Bill. Tell him Ralph sent you. And the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. The Christmas season's coming up. You have people coming over. Last thing you need is your furnace to go boom. So give them a call today. They'll fix your furnace. They'll do what needs to be done. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. That number again, 724-201-0500. Check out their Facebook page and website, mataheatingandairconditioning.com. All right, we're going to start first with weather across the country. As you know, there's bad weather everywhere lately, especially along the East Coast. There's been some bad storms. Charleston, South Carolina got hit real bad. But I want to say this. I have said this many times about how common sense has gone out the window. And I heard something today that a lady had her cell phone in her back pocket in the water up to her knees, and she almost lost her cell phone because she had it in her back pocket in Charleston there. And, why in the world would you even do that? I mean, I don't get the picture of that. See, this is where I've spoken about common sense. Okay. My co host on The Way We See It, Bill Canada, and I both have talked about this, about how common sense has gone out the window. Nobody has it anymore. Nobody, that's because what does it boil down to? What I've been saying for a long, long time. Nobody has they don't care about anything. All right. And we have lazy people who don't want to care about anything. And this is where we are in this country right now. All right. And here we are. All right. We have bad weather across the country, and people are not thinking straight. You have to think straight, because if you don't, you're going to wind up having all kinds of problems. Why would you even go out in that kind of weather and get stuck with your water up to your legs when you could have stayed in your home and went up on higher ground and stayed there? And at least you're safe, at least in that portion. If you have flooding and heavy rains and everything coming at you. Now, if you have a tornado, you have to run and hide. If you have a hurricane coming or a hurricane force winds, you have to do something. But don't stand in the middle of water with your cell phone in your back pocket, because if the water's going to come up to your butt, you know exactly what's going to happen to that phone. All right? You're watching and listening to Ralph's Opinion. My name is Ralph Williams. It's my new show. Unfortunately, today we are unable to work on Blog Talk Radio because they have tech issues. Our normal place that this show airs. But I use this as a backup, which means if they're having issues, we go here. Ralph's Opinion. Right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and Twitter X platforms. And we'll be soon to be on Instagram. Once again, I have to work out the kinks. They're asking for some stuff, and I have to get some settings set up. You know how that goes, tech issues. So as soon as I get that done, we'll be on Instagram at the beginning of the year. Okay, that'll give me some time to get things working. I'm a little slow with tech stuff, so there you go. All right, all right. So again, you know there's bad weather. You know there's snow. You know there's going to be. So what do? You need to prepare yourself, and no one prepares themselves for bad weather problems in this country. And this is where we have problems. Okay. And this all boils down to nobody listens to the news. Nobody watches the news. Nobody pays any attention to anything that goes on because everybody's too busy on their cell phone playing around music, cussing at people. Like, I want to hear your loud conversation. This is why we have what we have when there's bad weather issues, or you have what you have, because I know I wouldn't. I'd be prepared for a weather issue because I inform myself. I watch the news. I know what's going on. That's what you need to do. All right. And that's Ralph's opinion today on this issue here. All right. The next segment is brought to you by P6 Auto Detailing in New Kensington. Call them today, 412-965-6578. Let the experienced professionals detail your car. Hey, you got what? A few days to Christmas. Give somebody the gift of detailing their car. Call P6 today. Tell them you heard it here. 412-965-6578. P6 Auto Detailing. All right, our next segment here, we're going to talk about less than 10 days till Christmas. Do you have your shopping done? Have you gone out into the malls and dealt with all this mess? Do you send out gift cards like I do? Do you inside of a card? To me, as a handicapped person and someone who doesn't want to deal with that rat race, wouldn't you, I decided that every year for Christmas, my wife and I are gonna send out gift cards to people because that's the easiest thing to do. And right now, we have a situation where my wife's family, someone in her family passed away, and right now our Christmas spirit is not here. I've had some issues this year where my dad passed away, my nephew, a best friend of mine passed away, had cancer. Someone that I was, worked with before, a best friend of mine from Boy Scouts that I was in the Boy Scouts with, he passed away. So I've had some deaths this year that have been very difficult to deal with. Okay. So my Christmas spirit is here, but it's not. I'm 50-50. What would happen if you had this scenario in your life? If you had all these deaths this year, how would your Christmas season be? My opinion is my Christmas is where it's at. And my opinion is I think that if you had the same problem, your Christmas wouldn't be where it needs to be or where you think you might want it to be. I didn't even buy poinsettias this year at the church, and I usually buy one in dedication of my first wife who passed away in back in 2010. And my father, I was going to put one up for him, and my nephew this year, but I didn't do poinsettias this Christmas. And I'm not trying to cry foul. I'm broke. I have no money. I'm tapped out, and it's not because of Christmas. It's because of some other issues. I'm tapped out. Okay. Maybe I didn't do what I needed to do, and I sit here and I talk about how people need to do this, this, and this. But I laid an egg this year by being broke during Christmas. All right, it's a very limited situation now. I have to wait till after Christmas to give people their gifts. All right. In case those of you don't know, I'm handicapped, disabled, and and I have my own pain issues. My wife has been having some issues with her back. So my opinion is, my Christmas is, kind of lame this year. It's not. I don't have the spirit that I normally have for Christmas, and that's just my opinion on this. And my opinion is, I think that if someone like you were to have the same issue or same situation that I have, you wouldn't. You'd be in the same boat. Okay, 10 days or less till Christmas. What are you doing? What's your spirit like this year for Christmas? Do you have the same issues I have? You can comment in the comment section here. I want to know what you're up to. I want to know what you're doing for Christmas. When I ask for something like this, I never get any response. I don't know why. Seems like no one I don't know. Maybe people are afraid that I'm going to really, say something that's not appropriate about you or something. That's not the case. About 3 weeks ago, I asked about businesses, and no one got back to me. No one commented. Nobody said anything. I wanted to know what your business is doing. If your business is doing well, and you live in Western Pennsylvania, and you know about my promotions for my sponsorship advertising, why are you not advertising with me? Is there a reason? Does somebody hate me? That's another reason my Christmas spirit isn't there. I hired a guy whose name I'm not going to mention to go out and get me some sponsors and advertisers, and he laid an egg, and that kind of thing. I'm frustrated about that. Okay, I expected him to go out and get me a whole heap of sponsors and advertisers, so I wouldn't be broke this Christmas, and there's some other things too. All right, everyone thinks this is free. It's not. I have to spend money to put this productions out. All right, and that's my opinion today about Christmas this year, at least on my end, and maybe your end as well. All right, our next segment's brought to you by uh, Fold and Travel Mobility. Are you handicapped, disabled to use a wheelchair? Have you felt down? Because you need a power chair that folds so your life can be better. Well, I have the solution to your problem. Fold and Travel Mobility, the specialist at having the best folding power wheelchairs all around, the best in the business. Call the professionals today. 1-877 GOTFOLD, 1-877 GOTFOLD, foldandtravelmobility.com. Get on there with a professional, chat with them, take a look at their inventory, find out a model that you might like, and also there's financing available as well. And they have holiday specials till the end of the year. So step it up if you want a folding power wheelchair to make your life better if you're handicapped as I am. Or if you know someone that's handicapped, call them up. Say, hey, look, I heard about foldandtravelmobility.com. Tell them you heard it here on RW Media Productions. Oh, excuse me for a minute. All right. Guy who crashed his car crashed into Biden's car. My question is, how can you be so stupid? How? All right. I have to talk this week, on Ralph's opinion. We will not have a show on Christmas Day, which is this coming Monday, actually. All right. But we will be on every day over the course of the weekend. And there will be a Steeler post-game show with me, Steve, and Steve Spates, and Bubba Brewer. And we also bring on some other guests as well. Steelers play Cincinnati Bengals. So don't forget about that. But let's talk about the guy who crashed his Biden's car into Biden's car. All right, that's a bonehead move, and we're not back with the way we see it with me and Bill Canetta until January 1st. Okay, we're off. We're not doing anything for Christmas Day, so that means you have to wait until New Year's Day for us to come back. 7 p.m. right here, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and X platforms. Okay, but let me say this. This guy had to be a complete idiot. Why in the world would you even wreck into his car? What happened? Did you think that you were, oh, I'm going to bang into his car and I'm going to get away with it? That is why we have criminals the way they are. They're in prison because they think they're smarter than everybody else. Now, if you're going to commit a crime, take a look at this scenario. All right, you have cameras everywhere. You have cell phones everywhere. You have drones. You have all different types of stuff. And now you have malls that actually have some big time surveillance in their parking lots to bust shoplifters. So if you think you shoplift in the store and you try to get out into the parking lot and you think you're going to get into your car, okay, and then find out that you're not going to have a situation, you're wrong. because guess what? You're in deep doo doo. So this guy now that crashed into Biden's car is going to be charged with a bunch of stuff, federal criminal laws, and he's going to wind up going to prison for banging into Biden's car like a goof. All right. Again, this is our society today, folks. Our society. We are the ones who just consistently make mistakes like this. And I know everybody makes mistakes. If you want to send a message to the president, why don't you just go and stand in line and talk to him? All right? Or go to one of his rallies or something and say, I don't like you, Joe Biden. Okay? Uncle Joe. He's going to run for another term as president, and then we're going to wind up having some more and more issues that we're having now. I know there are people out here who are saying, oh, you're picking on Joe Biden. No, Joe Biden is too old. Joe Biden sticks his foot in his mouth, and Joe Biden needs to step away. I've told you 100 times about how a lot of the Democrats didn't want Biden to team up with Obama because of his big mouth. He sticks his foot in it all the time. All right? I do that sometimes. I say things that people get mad about, and that's too bad, and I don't care. I'm going to say it, my opinion, the way I want to, and that's what I do here. All right? You can agree with me, you can disagree with me. Also, don't forget about our mailbag, ralphwilliams737 at gmail.com. Check it out. If you want to email me and respond to anything I'm saying, you can do that. We have a couple here. Ethan in Pittsburgh says, Ralph, I love your show. Check out all your stuff. And I enjoy what you have to say because you are not afraid to say it. Thank you, Ethan, from Oakmont. All right. Oakmont section of the city of Pittsburgh. Okay. Oakmont's nice, actually. If you ever visit Pittsburgh, go out to Oakmont. They got a nice little business district there. Very friendly people. They have some very nice businesses out there. Check out the Oakmont Bakery. Okay. That's probably the one that mostly stands out there. And they have a few other places. And if you go along the Allegheny River, if you're ever on our Gateway Clipper, you'll see that there are some boat houses that are very nice, and some camping kind of things where people go there for weekends, cottages along the river. It's very nice. Okay, but here we are, another idiot that decides he's going to crash his car into Biden's car and make a complete fool of himself. And that tonight or today is Ralph's opinion. All right, our next segment's brought to you by Sleep Pittsburgh, 412-462-7858. Call Sleep Pittsburgh today for the best in. They have mattresses, frames, futons, lift beds, day beds, futons, lift chairs, lift reclining chairs for handicapped people like myself. People have trouble getting out of a chair. Okay? And a lot more. Get on their website, sleeppittsburgh.com. No credit check financing. All right. 412-462-7858 is the number to call. Also, visit their showroom on 8th Avenue in Homestead, Pennsylvania, right along the Mon Valley. Sleep Pittsburgh for the best sleep tonight. We're in the First Line Consulting Services Studios, 1-877-926-6982. First Line Consulting Services. We'll put up a website for you. Manage it. Call them today or get on their Facebook or on their website at firstlineconsultingservices.com. Check out their prices. Very, very affordable. All right. Next, I want to talk about something here in Pittsburgh, in the city of Pittsburgh, that's really disturbing. For 2 years now, once again, the city has laid an egg. And they've laid a lot of them, trust me. Those of you who live in this area here in Pittsburgh and listen and watch my shows know about how many times I've blasted on the way we see it, the city of Pittsburgh, for some stupid nonsense. Well, this nonsense now is not only did they blow it with the homeless, blow it with the police, blow it with the crime downtown, blow it with downtown. They've done a lot of stupid things, and then on top of that, they want to raise. They claim they haven't had a cost of living raise in 10 years. Okay. Now, the average city council person in this town makes $80,000 a year. You mean to tell me that's not enough to live? You live in the city of Pittsburgh, and that's not enough for you to live. What, mortgage on a house? I know you got to go and get a fancy Cadillac or something. You got to go, you got 8 kids. Well, no one told you to have 8 kids. Okay. Does our city council does not deserve this raise, and I've said this a few times too. But now they made another stupid mistake. They forgot to pick up the syringes all around town. There was a program where they were supposed to put up these red boxes where a drug dealer or whomever is shooting up with these syringes, which they let go on. Okay. There are professionals in other cities that don't let this stuff go on. They arrest people. The city of Pittsburgh's police department, they don't arrest anybody because the mayor doesn't want people to be arrested. He wants homeless people to live out in the streets and crowd up our city and make our city look like a dump. All right? But now they're not picking up syringes. And when questioned by the news to the public safety director, Lee Schmidt, he said, oh, we messed that up. Yeah, exactly. Okay? After a while, it gets old. It gets old, and I've said this many times, you got to start voting these people out. But now another mistake is made. They forgot to pick up the syringes, and they're everywhere around the city. They're everywhere. It's like litter. You complain about people littering plastic bags, and you go and make a stupid ordinance for plastic bags, which is a tax. Then you charge people 10 cents for a paper bag, and you make the company and you make grocery stores and all that do that. And you want to raise. And the public safety department is a joke. And so is our current city government from the mayor on down. I've said this many times. I'm friends with Mayor Gainey, but I can't deal with what he's doing. This city is terrible right now. And in the 4 years that he's going to be here, it's going to get worse. He's got 2 more to go, I believe. Okay? He's in the second year of his term, of a 4-year term. All right? The police department's messed up. Now we have syringes all over the city, littered everywhere because they laid an egg in the city and didn't put up those red boxes so you can dispose of them and put them in these red boxes. No, we're worried about plastic bags, not about syringes littering the city. We're worried about this, that, and whatever, and stupid things, but we have teenagers shooting, and we can't get Schumann Center open because of county government's BS. That's what goes on in this town, and no one cares. And the voters, they go out and vote in the same people. And I'm going to tell you this right now: if you're a progressive Democrat, you need to get out of here because you're ruining our city. We already had a district justice who let a prominent criminal run away. We've had other district justices that let a dozen drug dealers that we picked up downtown go on $1 bail. Okay? Now, my next question to all of you out there who listen, and I know we have people in Texas, we have people in Idaho, we have people all over the place. I get mailbag from everybody. Okay? All right? Brandon in Idaho says, Ralph, I love your show. I watch all of your stuff, including, I even listen to your radio show, and I'm not even from Pittsburgh, but I enjoy what you do. Okay? And here we are. Okay? Here we are. At least we're not called the city of brotherly love, and we're not the city of brotherly love. And that's Philadelphia. We once were called the city with a small town mentality. Now we're the city of homeless people wandering all over the city like a bunch of zombies. It looks like that show. What's it called? The Living Dead or something. Yeah. All right. That's on AMC. The Walking Dead. That's what it looks like around here. All right. Now, the last fast food place downtown is now closing up because somebody got shot. There's no Arby's now. There's no Wendy's. There's no McDonald's. There's no Burger King in downtown Pittsburgh. And there are people that are living down there going, "Well, I really don't want those things there because that brings riffraff." But where are tourists going to go that are here for the Steeler game? Do you catch what I'm saying? And then you put the burden on other businesses that don't have the help because we have lazy people. This is our city of Pittsburgh, folks. And that is my opinion today on that. The next segment's brought to you by Hillcrest Farm, Richmond, Ohio, and Draft412.com. Draft412.com is a website that talks about all different types of drafts. They bring the skinny down on every player, and they'll tell you about everything that has to do with drafts and sports. They have podcasts. They have a e-magazine that's very thorough that you can get in your inbox for $9 a month. Draft412.com. Hillcrest Farm, Richmond, Ohio, 45 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh. No excuse to drive out to the farm if the weather's not too bad. Christmas time, head on out there, get one of their package deals. Here's one, $95 for 20 pounds of ground beef. Call them today, 740-346-5442, 740-632-2894. Hillcrest Farms, Ohio at gmail.com is their email address. And check out their website, www.hillcrestfarmsohio.com, and Facebook, Hillcrest Farm, Richmond, Ohio, and they do ship, so don't forget to get on their website. All right. And before we move on to our last segment and finish up here, this Friday, Jurgles Rhythm and Brews out in Warrendale, Bon Jovi Journey Tribute Band will be performing December 31st at the Winooski Winery in Bell Vernon. Jurgles in Warrendale on Brush Creek Road. Head on out for Bon Journey. Very quickly here, as we get ready to wrap things up, do you have a cold? I know some people that do, and I told them what to do. Soup and tea, hot soup. Suck that broth down, sniff it up. The best thing to do is if you have a sinus problem, is eat some ramen noodles and put the packet in there. Because the seasoning will loosen up your sinuses and you can get it all done. Get Navage. That's worth the money. I have it. It helps my sinuses. It helps my conditions. All right. I'm not going to advertise them too much because they don't pay me. TGI Fridays. How about this? They're recalling frozen chicken wings. You know those little boneless wings that have they're barbecue. Well, they're recalling them. Something's in them. Okay. It's crazy to see that sometimes things have to be recalled because of stupid stuff that goes on in the factory. Somebody makes a mistake. One time, I opened up a can of peas and I got a can of green beans, and I got green beans in it. I've had that problem. What have you had? Have you ever opened up a can of something and got something else? Yes, I have a few times. All right. TGI Fridays, on the other hand, they've gone kind of down the drain. You don't hear much about them. They used to have that all-you-can-eat appetizers. I don't even know if they still even have that. I can't remember the last time I ate at one, and some of the ones in this area have closed up. All right. Too much retail flooding our areas. And when it gets to be too much, other people have to sacrifice. That's Ralph's opinion today. Tomorrow, don't forget to tune in. We're back here at 11:30, as we always are. It'll be Blog Talk Radio, 563 999-3740 will be the number to call. That's if the tech issues are not correct, and they haven't been. I've been all over them about that as well. And if not, then we'll be here live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and X platforms. Okay, Ralph's Opinion, the new show, kicking and out there in the nation and all across the country and in the Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania area. Don't forget tonight, 5 p.m. Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM, 12:30 a.m. around the Beaver area or around Western Pennsylvania. If you can't get the signal, I'm live on Beaver County Radio's YouTube channel and Facebook page. All right. Sports Corner Radio Show. Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier. We have an open show tonight. No excuse not to call in. 724-843-1888. 724-774-1888. We are taking your calls tonight because we have no guests. All right. No guests. So we're taking your calls tonight for a full hour. And January 2nd, we start 2 hours, 4 to 6 p.m. Sports Corner Radio, same day, just 4 to 6, 2 hours. And the year in sports review spectacular. We're going to talk about the Penguins, Pirates, Steelers, Pitt football, Pitt basketball, Duquesne, Robert Morris. We're going to talk about the high school teams and what happened this year and a lot more on the Year in Sports Review Spectacular. And I have a guest list so far put together. Luther Dupree, Steel City Sports World. Claudia Rosano, Steel City Sports World. And the Boxing Authorities. Both guys with that show. As well as Smoking Jim Frazier. 5 o'clock hour, JT Toft from Draft 412. John Parado, who writes for Pittsburgh Sports Now in the baseball part. He's going to come on. We're going to talk about the Pirates a little bit. Okay? I'm working on Chris Carter. I'm working on a few other people. So far that's the guest list. But I tell you, and Brian Pasquale from the former Hey Peanut show on Beaver County Radio, he has his own show coming up January 3rd. It's called One Man's Opinion. So no excuse today not to listen to or watch Sports Corner Radio Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, the best sports talk show around where the new voices. And also, don't forget that on January 9th, we start our wrestling segment on Sports Corner Radio. And I have an independent wrestler coming on from Detroit that's going to talk about independent wrestling in Michigan. Okay? And we're going to talk about WWE, WTNA, all that stuff for a 30-minute segment every single show starting January 9th on Sports Corner Radio Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier. Mark it on your calendar. Call your friend. Call your cousin. Call somebody. Get them on. Get them watching. Get them listening. Get them supporting RW Media shows. I'm Ralph Williams. It's been a pleasure being with you again today. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll talk with you again tomorrow for another edition of Ralph's Opinion. Until next time, have a great one. Thank you.